Hello everyone, welcome to BISP Solutions. I am Preeti, working as Oracle Fusion Functional Consultant. So in today's video, we will see some of the setups related to SLA configuration in Project Portfolio Management module. First, we will see what are the topics that we have discussed till date. So in our first session, we have seen how to create the implementation user, and there are some roles that you have to provide to that user so that he can perform the task related to project portfolio management module. Then we have seen how to create the custom roles in case, as per your business requirement, you want to give the limited access to your user. Then in that case you can create the custom roles. In that you can mention the privileges that you want to provide to the user. Then we have seen how to create the reference data set. As I told you in earlier sessions, that the project module is the module that works at business unit level. So we have seen all the functions related to the business unit. Then in the second session, we have seen how to create the project unit. This is the additional functionality which is provided by the Oracle Fusion. Earlier in the EBS we didn't have this functionality. This is used for the reporting purpose. This is used for the reporting of the line of business. And then here we have seen how to create the department, then how to classify these departments into the organizations, that is project expenditure organization and project task owning organization. When we create the project, on that time we use the project task owning organization, and while creating the expenditures for the project we use the expenditure organization. Then in the day 3 we have seen how to create the organization tree. So while creating the organization tree, you have to keep one thing in your mind, that whatever the organizations that you are giving in the organization tree, only those organizations will be available to you at the time of creation of transaction in the project. Then we have seen how to select the default organization tree for the project module. So by using the task configure project accounting business function, you can mention the default organization tree that you will use or system will use while you will create the transaction in the projects. Also, in the configure project accounting business function, you will associate the business unit with the project unit. Then in the day 3 we have also seen how to use the period in the project module. So in the project module, it have functionality that the project module can use a different calendar as general ledger. Say in the general ledger we are using the different calendar, and in the project module you can use the different calendar. So this is the functionality which is only available in the project module. Then we have seen how to link the implementation user with your employee user. Then we have seen how to create the template, how to assign the project plan type while creating the template, and how to create the task structure. Then how we can decide the dates as start date and finish dates. Then we have seen how to create the project. So for creating the project, a user requires the data access. So there are 3 roles, that is project accountant, project administrator and project manager, that require the data access, and you have to provide the data access at business unit level. If you will not provide the data access to the business user, then you won't be able to create the project in the project module. So data access is must for creating the project. In the day 5 we have seen how to create the revenue category. We have seen how to create the expenditure category and unit of measure. After creating all these 3 tasks, we have seen how to assign all these 3 tasks while creating the expenditure type class. Then in our day 6 topic, we have seen how to create the project class category, service type, work type, how to maintain the project status, project roles and resource class. Then in the day 7 topic, we have seen how to create the project plan type. This is the planning that we are doing for the project. In this project plan type, we can see how to schedule the dates for the projects and also the planning cost in the project. So project plan type is the task that works at task level in the project module, whereas in the financial plan type it works at the project level. You can create the budget by using financial plan type. Then we have seen if we are assigning any resources in the project, then how the rates will be picked by the system. So with the task rate schedule, the system will pick the task. In the rate schedules, you will mention all the rates for the resources. Then we have seen how to create the labor costing rules, and if you are paying any extra amount for the labor for their overtime, then we have seen how to create the costing multiplier. And now how system will read which rate to be picked and which labor costing multiplier to be picked or labor costing rules. Then what we will do in the organization costing rule task, we will assign one business unit, and with that one business unit we will associate these rate schedules, labor costing rules there. Then we have seen in the project module, when we create the transaction, at the same time it will transfer to GL. So there is no functionality available that for project module we cannot pass any manual entry for subledger accounting. So system will automatically pick the accounting for the transaction that you are creating in the project. For that purpose, we have to create the SLA configuration before passing any transaction in the project. So in yesterday's session, we have seen the SLA overview. We have seen the description rule. So description rules are nothing but the information that you want to display at journal line level. Then we have seen the mapping rule. So when we are creating the transaction in the project module, we use the organization that we have created with using the task of project module. So how system will pick the accounts from the general ledger module. So by using this mapping task, we have seen how we will map the expenditure organizations of project with the general ledger module. So now in today's session, we will see the next task, that is account rule and journal entry rule. So what is the account rule? These are the rules that determine from where an accounting flex field value is taken or how it is derived. Oracle does provide seeded rules. However, one can create one's own rule to derive accounting flex field segments. Now in the accounting rule, you can set default combination for accounting transactions. So by default, what should be the accounting combination that system should pick? So while creating the accounting rule, we will mention all the default accounting combination, and then if there are some condition where we want our account to override with some other segment values, then we will mention there. Now in the application, we will see practically how it works. So the following rule types are available. You can create the accounting rule on the basis of accounting combination, segment or value set. Now let's move to our application to see how we will create this accounting rule. go to setup and maintenance here. In the setup area, select project financial management. Now go to functional area, project accounting. You can see the task here, account rules, click on it. Now first we will create the default accounting combination for debit and credit. Then if we want, in some conditions, the account rule should be override by any other segment value, then what we will do, first we will create the default accounting combinations, and then we will create the overriding accounting rules. So let's click on this create icon, and we will first start with creating the default accounting combination. Give the name here. You can see the subledger application is project costing. So whatever the transaction we will create in the project, we will create by using this subledger application. Now give the name here. So I am first creating the default accounting combination for debit side. Give the short name here. Select the chart of accounts. So this is our chart of accounts. Now here you can see we can create the accounting combination rule type on 3 different levels, that is account combination, segment and value set. So I want to create as account combination rule type. Now here I have to create the rule. So for that, click on this create icon. Now in the value type you can select, so I am creating the default combination for debit side. So I want this value type as constant. So you can see here these are the segments that I have in my charts of accounts. Now what are the segments that I want to be remain as default? So in the intercompany I don't want to make any changes. In the product I don't want to make any changes. Then in the line of business I don't want to make any changes. So what are the segments where I can have a need of override? So it is company, account, and then cost center. So I am taking right now default company, account, and cost centers. Select here. So for all above three segments I want to use these values, and then if in case I will need any overriding effect, I want only these three to get impacted with those changes. In these three I want constant values as none, or in the cost center I want the value as balance sheet. But when it comes to company, line of business, and account, I want that override should get changes in these three accounts. Now click on OK. So I have created the account rule for debit type. So whenever I will create the transaction in the project, what system will do? System will automatically use this default accounting combination for creating the debit side of entry. Now click on save and close. Again click on create icon, and now we will create the entry for credit side, that is selecting the accounting combination for credit side. Give the short name here. Select the chart of accounts. Search for US chart of accounts. Click on OK. In the rule type, I am taking it as account combination. Now create the rule for this credit side default combination. Click on create icon and select here constant value type. Now in the credit side we will select any clearing account. I'm taking in description clearing and find it with this clearing name. So these all are bank clearing accounts. Click on OK. So we have created the debit default combination and also the credit default combination. So whenever you will create the transaction in the project, if there is no overriding condition match, then it will automatically pick the default accounting combination for debit side and default combination for the credit side. And if there is any overriding condition applied to these accounting combination, then at the places of the segments where we have given the overriding accounting combination, it will pick the segment from those overriding conditions. So there is some issue in this instance, I guess. Okay, so it is created. Now we have created the default accounting combination. Now we will create the accounting combination for overriding these segment values. Now click on create icon. So in my case, I want to create the overriding values for company, cost center and accounts. The other three segments, I want constant values for those three segments. So I will create the accounting rule for three segments, that is company, cost center and accounts. So first I am creating the accounting rule for company. Select the chart of accounts here. So this is the chart of accounts. Now at this segment level, I want to give this overriding impact. So in the rule type, I will select it as segment, and when you will select the rule type as segment, you have to select for which segment you are creating this overriding accounting rule combination. Now here you can see all the segments available in your this chart of accounts will be visible here. As per your business requirement, you can select the segment here. I am taking it as company. Now in the rules, you have to create the accounting rules for this segment. Click on this create icon. Now select it as constant. Now my first priority is to use the value as say 101. System has to use the constant value as 101. Then I will give the condition here. Say if my business unit is PPM business unit, then what system has to do? System has to take 101. Else, if no, then we will give the another value. Now come here, give the source here. Let's search with the name. Okay, so if my expenditure business unit company segment is equal to, select the operator as equal to, so if my expenditure business unit company segment is PPM business unit, then system has to pick the constant value of company as 101. Else, if it is not, then click on create icon. The second priority is I want to use another company segment. Say I want to use 102. If the business unit is not PPM business unit, then you have to select the constant company segment as 102. If in case the business unit is project PPM business unit, then system has to pick 101. In this way, overriding will have effect on the transaction while passing the journal entry in the general ledger module. Now click on save and close. Again go to create icon, and then now we will create the overriding accounting rule for cost center. Select the chart of accounts as US chart of accounts. select the segment here and select the cost center here. Now come to rules here and click on create icon. Now if the constant value is 000, that is balance sheet. See, if you are using any account related to asset liability, then you cannot use cost center. If you are using the balance sheet account, then we will restrict the user to use the cost centers. So for that, if the user is using any account related to 000, that is balance sheet, then we will restrict the user. So we have given constant. If the capitalization indicator is yes, then system will not allow the user to use 000 cost center segment. Only if capitalization, that is there is an indicator option of for capitalization, if it is yes, then it will use 000 cost center, that is balance sheet segment, and if it is not, then we will use the second priority. Select the source here. So you can see here the task capitalization indicator. What I want, if the transaction is related to the capitalized expense, then it should pick the balance sheet, that means 000. If it is not related to 000, that means that it is not related to balance sheet transaction, then it will choose the second priority. Now where it will go, you have remember that we have created the mapping set for cost center in our last session. So what we will do, if the transaction that we are creating in the project is related to the capitalized expenses, then it will choose or it will select the constant value as 000, which is related to cost center and is related to balance sheet segment. Then if it is not related to the capitalized expenses, then it will go to the mapping set and system will read the condition from there, and from there it will pick the account. Now in the operator we will select equal to, and we will say yes. If it is yes, the expenditure is related to capitalized expenses, then it will pick 000 while creating the journal entry. If it is not related to capitalized expenses, then it will go to the mapping set. System will read the condition from that mapping set and will pick the respective account for creating the journal entry. Now click on this validate option. So our rule is validated now. Click on OK. Click on this create icon, and now we will select the second priority. If first condition is failed, then what should be the second priority? Click on mapping set here. Now select the mapping set that we have created for cost center. So I hope it is clear to you. If the transaction you are creating is related to the capitalized expenses, then in that case the system will pick the constant value as 000. If it is not, first condition is failed, the system will go to the second priority and now it will pick the account from the mapping set. Say if the expenses is related to the finance department, then what system will do? Whatever the say I will show that to you. Let's open the duplicate application here. Go to setup and maintenance. Select the project financial management here. Go to project accounting, and this is the mapping set task. Search for PPM cost center. Open this mapping set. So here we have done the mapping. If we are using the expenditure organization in our project as PPM finance, so what system will do, while passing this transaction as journal entry in the general ledger module, it will pick the account as 120. So say in our case the first condition got failed, it is not related, your transaction is not related to capitalized expenses, then it will go to the mapping set. That means it will come here, it will read the conditions from here and it will pick the account. So we have created the rule for cost center. Now click on save and close. Now click on this create icon. Select the chart of accounts here. Select rule type as segment. Select the segment here. Now click on create icon. Again select the chart of accounts here. Now click on this create icon. Select constant. So now we have also created the mapping set for all expenditure types. Now what we will do, say we have same expenses which are related to capital, so say CIP. So in the constant I am taking that account. That is cost in progress. So I am taking this account as my constant value. If it is related to this value and the capitalized indicator is yes, then what system will do? System will pick this account. If not, then again system will go to mapping set of expenditure type, and from there it has to pick the value. There is some issue in the instance, it is not activating this OK task. Again go to source and select the operator, and if yes it is related to capitalized expenses, then select pick the account as CIP, and if not, then so validate this rule. Now again go to create icon and here select the mapping set. As accounts. Now what system will do? If the expense is related to CIP expense, then it will pick this account. It will read the condition. If it is saying yes, then it will pick this account. If not, then it will go to the mapping set and it will read the account value from that mapping set. Now click on save and close. So now this is how we can create the accounting rule. First we have created the default accounting combination, then we have given how to create the overriding segment values. Now we will see what is the journal entry rule set. So these are the rules that determine whether a subledger journal line will be a debit or credit line, whether lines with the same account should be merged, and what the accounting class of the line is. The link journal lines option determines whether the journal line rule is set up to establish a link between the accounting of transactions that are both related to within the same application and across applications. In the stated definition, no link is established. Now we will move to our application, and here we will see how to give the description rule and account rule while creating the transaction. How system will pick the description rule and accounting rule. While creating the accounting rule, we have already used the mapping set, and now we will see how to create the subledger general entry rule set and how to assign accounting rule and description rule there. Go to project accounting here. Let's refresh it. Go to project accounting here. Click on this task, that is manage subledger journal entry rule sets. So what we will do, there are two options. You can duplicate the subledger journal entry rule set from the Oracle predefined rule set, or you can create your own. So right now I am duplicating it from the predefined by Oracle rule set. Now let's search for labor cost. So you can see here, this is the labor cost which is provided by Oracle. So I am duplicating my journal entry rule set from here only, and then I will make the necessary changes. Select this rule set and click on duplicate. Now here you can provide your own name to this journal entry rule set. Select the chart of accounts here, that is US chart of accounts. Click on save and close. So now you can provide the changes as per your business requirement here. So what I will do, I will go to this labor raw cost, and here in the accounting rule combination, here I will select the debit entry for this, and in the labor raw cost clearing I will select the credit account. So as I told you that first we have created the default accounting combination for debit side and credit side. So let's select here the same. in the labor raw cost, I will select the debit side of entry that we have created. Search for PPM. So you can see here, these are the default combination that we have created. And in the clearing, you have to select the credit side of account rule. Now in the company, see, we have created 3 overriding segment accounting rules, that is for company, account and cost centers. And in the rest of the 3 segments, we want constant values. So you can see here, system is asking for company, account and cost center only. So the account rule that we have created for the company, account and cost center, you have to assign it here. Select the PPM company, PPM accounts, and in the cost center, select PPM cost center. Now in the credit side, you for company, you can select the same option. Also in the cost center, you can select the same accounting rule, but in the account segment, you cannot select the same account segment as you have selected in the debit side. Otherwise there will be no use of passing the journal entries, it will have nil effect. So what we will do, here we will select nothing. When you will select nothing here, what system will do, system will pick the credit account from this default combination. Now one more thing, as you have seen, we have discussed the description rule, that what are the journal, what are the information that you want to display at the journal line level. We have seen how to create the description rule. Now you can select the description rule here. One, there is an option, you can select the common description rule also. Here you can, in the line description rule, you can select the different description rule. So this will be as per your business requirement. So we have made the required changes. Now click on save and close. Now go to labor cost adjustment. So this is the labor cost adjustment provided by Oracle. I will duplicate it and I will do the same changes that I have created in the labor cost. select the chart of accounts here, that is US chart of accounts. Click on save and close. Again select here debit account, default accounting combination that we have created, and in the labor raw cost clearing adjustment select the credit account. In the company segment, select the company accounting rule that we have created. In the account, select the accounting rule we have created for this accounts. Select the cost center account rule here. Again in the accounts, I want my system to pick the account from the default accounting combination that we have created for the credit side, because we cannot select the same account as we have given in the debit side. So I am leaving it blank. When system will read that we have left this account blank, what system will do? System will read the account value from the credit side. Click on save and close. So in this way you can create the journal entry rule sets. So in yesterday's session we have seen the description rules, then we have seen the mapping sets, and in today's session we have seen the account rules and also sub-ledger journal entry rule set. And while creating the account rule set, we have seen how to use the mapping sets there, and while creating the sub-ledger journal entry rule sets, we have seen how to use the account rules and description rules. So we have completed these topics today. Thank you so much for joining the session. Have a good day. In case you have any query, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you so much.